You both here. Well, what once seemed like science fiction could soon become reality as Archer Aviation moves closer to launching its midnight air taxi with plans to begin passenger operations as early as this year. Joining me now, Archer Aviation CEO and founder Adam Goldstein. Adam, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So talk about some of the challenges that you have had. Certainly the idea of getting simply from the lower part of Manhattan to JFK, getting anywhere quicker on one of your vehicles sounds promising. What are the biggest hurdles that you've been facing recently?
Well, it first started with the technology, and the good news is that the technology has been around for actually several decades, and NASA started working on it almost 40 years ago, and that technology has now matured to the state where we are preparing to bring that to the masses through a commercial product, which we call Midnight. The next set was going through the regulatory side and making sure there was a framework in place that we could actually certify the aircraft, and then ultimately finding infrastructure partners where we can take off and land from. And that has all come together now and prepared for the second half of this year where you're going to see these aircraft in the sky.
Well, I think one of the things that's interesting here is that, and if you look at the investment community and the idea of what you and your industry is going to be, they're talking about it being $1 trillion industry. The street has doubts about you. Investors have doubts about you. They want to see you make money. They want to make sure that the FAA is on board. They want to make sure that the regulatory burdens are eased on you. And there is, I mean, it's exciting, but certainly those tough regulations and really the slow process to be certified is something that you've had to deal with. How are those conversations going with government officials to make sure that you get out in the skies, you're safe, but you also grow, expand, and become a profitable company?
Well, look, this is the first new category that's been created by the FAA in 60 years. So there's a huge deal that they created the framework. I think many of the naysayers never believed that they would even create this category, and they did. And now we're at the stage where we are proving the technology is safe. The rules are in place. We'll demonstrate that these aircraft are safe, and then we'll get to show off this amazing consumer experience. And once you take a trip that used to take you 90 minutes, that now takes you 5 minutes, I think we'll have everybody convinced.
Talk about the manufacturing process, because you're working with Stellantis. Obviously, this is a solid partnership. Explain about the production process. How long does it take to actually build one of these aircraft?
Well, you can think about these aircraft as having similar sizes as cars from a total takeoff weight perspective. So these aircraft weigh about 6,500 pounds. That's about as much as a Tesla Model X weighs. And so you can think about it from a mass perspective. The goal is to figure out how to create them in the masses. And so we partnered with the auto industry as a way to learn from the lessons of decades of experience the autos have gone through in scaling cars. And we now want to take that to the aviation industry, which has typically been burdened with relatively low numbers of builds. And so there's a lot of information sharing that's happened. There's a lot of lessons that's gone on. But our ultimate goal here is to scale manufacturing, and the autos are probably the best place that we could go learn from.
You've got a substantial cash position right now. You're looking at almost $2 billion. What do you do with that money? How do you take that money and deploy it to not only advance the Midnight aircraft that we're talking about now, but maybe to create other types of vehicles for the future?
Well, the early aircraft we'll bring to market, you can think about this as it's really day one still. This is our roadster moment. We're bringing these new cars, these flying cars to market, just like what you saw on the ground with Tesla and their first new several cars. They brought the Roadster, then they brought the Model S and the Model X, and ultimately the mass market cars, the Model 3 and the Model Y. So we're going through that journey ourselves. Our first aircraft is the Midnight aircraft, but there certainly will be more aircraft that will be performance enhanced, aircraft that will be lower cost, and aircraft that will ultimately be autonomous.
And selling it to the consumer to make sure that they believe that it is safe. And we're going to talk about that later in the program. Consumers see all of this and they think, I don't feel safe, but it's happening. And that's the exciting part in all of this for you and your company. Adam Goldstein, thank you so much. We're going to be following you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Adam Goldstein from Archer. Well,